The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. While some people were speaking about how the temple was adorned with costly stones and votive offerings, Jesus said, "All that you see here, the days will come when there will not be left a stone upon another stone that will not be thrown down." Then they asked him, "Teacher, when will this happen? And what sign will there be when all these things are about to happen?" He answered them, "See that you not be deceived, for many will come in my name, saying, 'I am he,' and the time has come. Do not follow them. When you hear of wars and insurrections, do not be terrified, for such things must happen first, but it will not immediately be the end." Then he said to them, "Nation will rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. There will be powerful earthquakes, famines, and plagues from place to place, and awesome sights and mighty signs will come from the sky. Before all this happens, however, they will seize and persecute you. They will hand you over to the synagogues and to prisons, and they will have you led before kings and governors because of my name. It will lead you to your giving testimony. Remember, you are not to prepare your defense beforehand, for I myself shall give you a wisdom in speaking that all your adversaries will be powerless to resist or refute. You will even be handed over by parents, brothers, relatives, and friends, and they will put some of you to death. You will be hated by all because of my name, but not a hair on your head will be destroyed. By your perseverance, you will secure your lives." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Blessed Sunday to all. If you listen carefully to today's introductory remarks before the liturgical celebration, that is really the very sense of all the readings that we have just heard. In fact, the readings, especially the gospel readings presentation of certain details, really are so close to us. In fact, they are really scary in the same sense or in the way that they are already happening in our midst. But let us not lose perspective. No, dili nato kawad-an diha sa mensahe ang kahulugan sa giingon ni Jesus. That's why ako ning gi-emphasize ganina, it will not immediately be the end. No, moabot ang katapusan sa panahon, yes. But we really do not know when. And this is the very point where we have to situate, no, ipahimutang nato ang atong mga pamalandong. There is always certain fear or even agitation precisely because these things are happening. Why am I talking about agitation? Because this kind of emotion has something to do with, you have still so many things to do, but then time is like running up. No? We get agitated because things are not really happening in the manner that we want it to be. But what remains the same is the reminder of the Lord that this will just practically lead us to the end. Okay, there is the final end, yes, that is a truth. Okay, that is what we also practically profess in our faith. But we should not also remember that there is also what we call a personal end. That each individual will meet his or her or our own end. But what does it mean? Yes, the end time is coming. But these are occasions, according to the gospel reading today, the second point is, this will lead us to give testimony. Okay? The experiences that we have ang atong mga kasinatian, even the fears that we are actually owning, are moments where what is given to us through our teachings of the faith will also be able to help us prepare ourselves. And finally, the third point of the gospel reading today, which is at the end of the reading, is the perseverance that is needed. Faithful perseverance. Kay katong mohangtod, katong mulungtad, makadawat sa ganti. But even those who have already gone ahead of us, they will also receive their own reward, inasmuch as they have lived their lives faithfully while still on earth, while still among us. Now, what are the repercussions of these three main points of our gospel reading today? That it is not immediately the end, but the end is really looming or coming. And then, the giving of testimony, and the final thing is for us to be able to persevere to the end. These are actually challenges and reminders, precisely because what you have heard in the gospel reading as details that are scary are really happening precisely first because the world is already very old. And as the world turns around the sun, naadjud na yung mga ginagmay nga mga shaking. That's why there are earthquakes. The natural calamities are happening precisely because the reason is we are not also being responsible for nature. Sige tag pamutol og kahoy nya dili ilisan. Di ta ka lumulabay sa mga basura muna nga naay lunok, no? Nganong naa may linog, natural man na, mahitabo man na, kay natural man na. Pero we are also doing more damage to the environment. Imbis mananom tag kahoy ang atong gipananom mga tagas nga building. No, nangahurot na ang mga source of mga resources. And what is going to happen in the world? And that's practically, we are also culpable. That's why it is a reminder. Yes, we are afraid, but this is also our own doing. Nganong na may gira? Why are there wars? Why are there persecutions? These are done by men who are greedy. No, mga hakog nga mga tao. No, mga tao nga dili mamati sa kamatuoran, ipaitigbabaw ang ilang kaugaligong pagsabot sa mga butang sa kalibutan. Ilabi na sa internet karon, daghan kay mga batanon, di na mo tuo Ginoo kay wala lagi Ginoo. And whose fault are these? Whose fault is this? We are still part of it. That is why the reminder is also at the same time bringing us into a realization that kita apil usab ta sa mga panghitabo. But is there a positive side to this? Yes, because there are also so many countless people like us, Catholics, Protestants, Christians, and even non-Christians who desire for peace and who want to restore the very gift that is given in nature. And this is the very challenge that we have. And the moves that we do, the projects that we want to do is towards perseverance. Because even if the end is coming, there is a more important end that we have to prepare. And that is our very own end. And so, even people who are trying to be like, I don't know if you understand the word charlatans, no? Kanang mga sabaan. The other day, this is also very appropriate in the gospel, di ba? Diha manggani to'y niingon nga, iyaha kunong pugngan ang linog, no? That's why Jesus said in today's gospel reading, do not believe in them. No, daghan kayong magpa-tuo-tuo, no? And, anyway, I don't know if people still believe. Pero usahay, because we are practically focused on the worldly concerns, no? Dili ang spiritual, muna nga daghan gihapong kagubot nga mahitabo. But then the challenge remains. This will happen, and in fact, these are all happening in our midst. But what do we accept? What do we perceive? What do we do? Unsa may atong angay buhaton? We really hold on to the very precious faith that is given us. And that is one of the important messages and challenges of today's readings before we end the liturgical calendar. And mind you, it will also go back the next time we come into this time. Because reminding always is very important. And then, why are the reminders coming over and over again? What is the simple reason? Kaya di man ta mamati sad. That's why it continues to be given to us. We have to embrace it with faith and confidence, and of course, with love to the many gifts that God has given us. Not only material things, not only the world, but most especially people who are helping us in this regard. Amen.